Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to get right into it. We have information and updates to give you, but at the same time, we just want to share more of the end of the year game plan to make sure that we continue to get off to a fast start in 2024. And if you've heard me say this before, I believe that the way we end the year is the way we start the year. So we can't, let off the throttle right now. We can't take things for granted. And I can't tell you how good things are going. Again, you'll know me. I'll tell you when it's going good and when it's going bad, and it's going very good right now. We're in a very good trajectory. So I want to make sure that we get as many of you up and running for 2024 because I believe that it is going to be a banner year. If you didn't hear this past month, the month of October, which is the last full month we've had, it's the best year in the history of First Financial Security or FFS as it relates to commissions paid to the field. We paid over $1 billion in commissions to the field in the last 20 years since I've been here with the company, and we've never had a better month. And we are positioning ourselves every single day to be that much better off. And you're a great portion of that success. You're a good part of that success, and it's because of you and your efforts that we're here. But I'm just going to give you a couple of updates on very important things. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing going. Now, I got Mr. Red Stafford. I thought I just saw Red. Okay, can you do me a favor? I think there you are. Okay, can you see the screen that says school campaign webinar? Perfect. All right, so we're going to get right into it. We got a few people straggling in, so let's just let them in. And remember, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to beg you, unmute yourself as we go so that we can answer your questions while it's still fresh in our minds, and then we continue to the next subject. So anytime, say, hold on, question about that, what's up with that, whatever the case might be, make sure you go ahead and do that, please. Let me just let some more people out. Always okay. So here we go. And so we want to make sure we do that. So again, just stop, unmute yourself at any time, ask any questions anytime. That way we don't have to cover it again at the end. And again, this is just going to be our Monday morning webinar. So let's get right into it. First things first, I want to thank everybody who got their lead sheets. Which, of course, we're talking about the pre-set appointments. If for whatever reason someone goes to you, they're not replying to you anymore, you need to circle their name in red and get that over to me, and we will either throw them into our pile of recycles that we don't really like to work with them a lot, but we also have an automated system that drips on them and drips on them and drips on them so that way something can come out instead of nothing. Otherwise, it looks really bad for you. If we give you 10 appointments and you only close 2, but that's because 7 never got back to you, well, it's not your fault. But if you're still holding on to it, then it looks really bad that your closing ratio sucks. And that's going to probably hinder you from getting more appointments. So we want to make sure you do that. Also, I want to thank you for the feedback. We gave this one-page planner last week. Whatever day of the week you want, or whatever week you want to have a productive week or day, just make sure you fill this thing out. I'm not going to go into it. You can watch the recording from last week. If you need the link to it, it's free. I paid for it. I'm giving it to you. And it's pretty cool because it does allow you to, again, understand what it takes to succeed. I personally don't like to leave anything to chance when it comes to my life, especially business. Nothing. I mean, I've gone over this webinar in my mind 20 times before I actually went live because I needed to make sure that everything was covered the right way. And that way it keeps you away from thinking that it's you or something wrong with you or you're lacking something. That's not it. It's usually just lack of planning on the part of most people. So enough of that. I gave it to you last week for free. Enjoy it, use it, and thrive. Now we're going to go ahead and do the weekend review as to what happened last week. I always ask people, look, listen, my goal is to make every week a productive week. Otherwise, I'll be in Hawaii. If I don't want to be productive, now I can be in Hawaii and be productive. But what I'm saying is that we need to make sure every single week is productive. And how do you know you had a productive week? Anybody? How do you know if you had a productive week or not? Anybody? I'm going to ask for your help here. Please play along. Humor me. Anybody?
How many people you actually got in front of?
Okay, I mean, absolutely. That's a very good indicator because at the end of the day, the best way to make sure you had a productive week is to plan a productive week. So for me, a productive week means Monday I need to accomplish this, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then like she said, if one of them is to make money, which is, well, you only make money when you see people, but yet on your calendar you have nothing for potential clients this week. No teachers, no police. And then the week goes by, you see nobody. It was not a productive week. No matter how many webinars you were on, no matter what you did, it wasn't productive. So plan a productive week, and then at the end of the week, recap it. And the word you want to walk away with today is that you want to make sure you do something that's quantifiable. Quantifiable means if I ask Kathy, how many people did you meet with last week? She can give me a number. It could be 0, it could be 100. But if she says she wanted to have a productive week, but for whatever reason she met with nobody. Well, then of course that's not the way we want things to go. We want to have some congruency, if you would, between what we want and how we get to what we want. So that's absolutely true. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, I want to start off with this. On Monday, we had our Baker to Vegas meeting. Now, most of you have never been to a Baker to Vegas team captains meetings. And for those that don't know, this is the way it used to work. It's worked like this for 20-something years, okay? The way it works is once a month, starting in October, the team captains meeting takes place. And so what does that mean? Every team captain, and I mean every single team from Baker to Vegas, all police officers. Last year we had 120 teams. That represents not 120 police departments, because some police departments have multiple teams. LAPD has probably 30 Baker to Vegas teams. Sheriff's has probably 20. And then, of course, every smaller department has just one team. And so every person you see in this room represents a police station or a police department. So we used to do this pre-pandemic in person. Once a month, we would all go there. And again, about 125, give or take, as far as how many team captains would show up. And then they would go over the rules, updates, news, and then they would bring me up as one of the sponsors saying, hey, here we have Javier. You guys know, retired LAPD. This is who you want. This is a former LAPD officer that really likes to help out. And then they would just promote me. And then the way we would do it is we go ahead and let me skip this so I can show you, because we're going to do a class. There's going to be 3 dates you want to save, but you can't save them because I'm not going to give them to you. We're waiting for certain things to confirm the reservations for the office. But let me just start with this. Here's what I'm going to show. Let me go back over here. Man, I got a lot of crap's open. Hold on. I hope it's here. So here it is. Okay. So I'm going to give you, this is not the Baker to Vegas class because you got to get certified in this. I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version of what we do. So, because one of the most important questions that I'm going to ask you is, oh, I see that you're a Baker to Vegas sponsor, Mr. or Mrs. So-so. What do? You got to sound intelligent, because the way we get in all these roll calls is we sound intelligent. The people that are part of this campaign, they know their stuff. So let me give you an example. Perfect. I understand you guys can help us raise funds. Let me go back over here. Right, you can see the screen, Baker to Vegas fundraising campaign. Okay, and so the way it works is this. I'm just going to read it. This is not the certification class. Again, I'm telling you that. This is just before I get to the other part. And so here it is. Sure. Hi, my name is Javier Rodriguez. I'm with National Life Group. We are a silver sponsor with the Baker to Vegas fundraising campaign. And what we do is we help teams raise funds. Now, first of all, you need to understand that we are official silver sponsors with LAPRAC, which is, as you know, the organizer of the Baker to Vegas race. We are present at every single Baker to Vegas team captains meeting. We are there. Have you ever been to a team captains meeting? Yes. You've seen our booth and you've heard our director, Javier Rodriguez, speak. He's the guy that goes up there every time, usually raffles off a tablet. Oh, yeah. That's who we are, okay? Boom. What we do is very simple. We go ahead and sponsor a fundraising barbecue at your police station. And so the way we do that is we come up with the date that works for you, it works for us. And then on the day of your barbecue, we bring everything that's required. It's a plate that we sell, 2 hot dogs, chips, a drink, meaning soda or water bottle. This is very old, from 2019. And the price that we usually ask for is $12 to $14 donation. And what we do there is every dollar that's raised from the actual barbecue, we leave with your team. Your team keeps 100% of it. As a matter of fact, we even donate a tablet, and every dollar from the sale of raffle tickets that we raise stays with your team as well. You can make $500. Our best team ever has made $6,000 in 2 hours. So it's a great way to raise funds. Now, we've done this literally. We've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars all throughout, primarily Southern California, even though we get requests from all over the damn place. And I'm talking about the sheriffs. I'm talking about the alcohol beverage control. I'm talking about Pomona. I'm talking about every single LAPD station, every single sheriff station we do. And it's just a great way for you to raise tons and tons and tons of money. And you get to keep it all without having to invest in money. Now, all we require in return, and it is a hard requirement, is that we come in and we do a 10-minute presentation during the roll call or briefing that's titled How to Bulletproof Your Financial Future. And what we do is we talk about retirement. That's really all it is. If it's a no to this, it's a no to the barbecue. It's all or nothing. Most of them say, okay, how many do you want to do? We want to do every roll call, because what we are also doing, we have to do the roll call presentation the week before your barbecue for two reasons. Well, we tell them one reason, but there's two reasons. Reason number one, which is the most important reason, is because we love police, but we sometimes don't trust them, meaning that we want to do our part first. It's amazing how many times we've done our part by holding the barbecue, only for them to come back. Oh, our captain said you can't come into the roll call. Oh, our captain says vendors can't come in. This is after we did our part, which is wrong. So we don't trust them. And so we're going to say we have to come in. And the reason we give is we want to come in a week before because we need to promote your barbecue. We need to let the officers, the deputies know. Don't bring lunch that day. Let the firefighters know. Go to the tow yards. Let everybody know that they need to come here to support the cause. And that's how we raise thousands of dollars in just 2 hours. But the real reason is what I told you earlier. So anyways, going back to here, this is a hard requirement. And we've done these, again, all over the place. Everything, everywhere you see us have done the actual barbecue, we've done the roll calls, because one is a mandatory for the other to take place. And that's simply it. Now, we do have a very limited, which is true, we have very limited spots available. So we want to give you priority access to our calendar. And that's what we want to make sure that if we can come up with a date, let's make sure that we are available for the barbecue that day, because everybody's in fundraising mode right now. And we want to give you a shot to get on our calendar. This is the flip chart. Now, if you notice, this is on a computer. So it's got a left and the right arrow. If I click the left, well, it flips it. If I go to the right, it flips it. This is very, very, very important to have on your phone, on your tablet, because when you do it on the tablet or the phone, it shows one page at a time and it looks extremely cool. Does anybody want this flip chart to practice? Okay, right. And the reason that I'm asking is because if you practice this, by the time you get to our certification course, you're more likely to get approved. Not everybody gets approved. I'll tell you that right now. We don't want everybody to get approved because it's not for everybody. But let me tell you, this is the kind of stuff that works. Now, the second part I'm going to show you. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. If you want it, just do me a favor. Don't share it with anybody outside of the company, outside of our team. Okay, just don't do that. But if you look at the chat, please, I beg you, do not call me or email me asking for the chart. I'm not going to give it to you. Don't call me. I don't waste my time. I don't want to waste. That's a total waste of time when you can do it right now. And if you can't get it right now, check who's on the webinar and go bug them. Go bug Rhett or somebody. I don't know. Kathy's here and, George, I don't know. Don't bug me. I told you that. Last week, it's amazing how many people asked me for the damn planner after I told you don't do it. I just ignore them. So anyways, this is part of what I'm telling you. That's going to, because what we're not looking to do, if you just want to be an agent that wants to write business and make $120,000 a year, bless your heart. Thank you for being here. But what I'm saying is that we are also preparing some of you to open up your own agency within our agency, if you would. I don't know if she's here, but we have one person that I invited. She just called me, just sent out my first batch of emails because we're going to get a second group of people in, just like we did this past summer. We ended up with 47 people on the waiting list that couldn't get in because for whatever reason, they couldn't make it to the symposium. We're going to have on December 2nd, a new symposium coming out. And we're going to invite hopefully we're looking for 5 to 8 good people. And to get that, I got to go through 40. It's just that hard. But anyways, enough of that. It is in the chat. Don't call me. Don't email me. It's in the chat. Keith is asking for it. Keith, it's in the chat. Can you check your chat, Keith, to make sure that you have it? Please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have it. Okay, cool. All right, so we're done with that. Let's just continue where we were. I forgot where. Okay, yeah. So we were talking about that. So this is why all these guys want us. And understand, if there's one thing I want to teach you in business and in life, is to make sure you understand that when you work with us, you will be going from the hunter. Most life insurance agents, financial advisors are hunting for clients, and they are not finding any. I want to show you how to become the hunted, where people come to you, whether it be to join the company, whether it be to become your client, whether it be for a barbecue. And I'm going to show you. So this is what the team captains, this is what it looks like, and this is what they want from us. So let's fast forward to the weekend review. I'm going to play for you, literally, it's 1 minute and 20 seconds. I'm going to share this with you. This is condensed, just the intro. I'm not going to play the whole meeting. Now, the team captains meetings take place via Zoom. Now, when I was on the webinar this past Monday, I stopped checking when they had 88 team captains there. That's 88 police teams. So what I did, well, before I tell you what I did, let me show it to you. It's really quick. I'm going to fast forward here.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for coming to the second Baker to Vegas team captain meeting for the 2024 race. We're just going to hop right into it, and then I'll go through just like we normally do, and then you guys will be able to answer any or ask any questions. And of course, our silver sponsors, National Life Group is Javier Rodriguez. Before I hand over the floor to Javier, because I know he'd like to say a few words, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the fact that this past weekend, for those of you who were out here taking advantage of saving some money and being part of what I believe is a great event, the Laprac Memorial Run. Javier and his group are the ones who provided all the food for the event. Javier, a former LAPD officer, has done a tremendous amount over the last few years for several different teams. When it comes to Baker to Vegas, he's given out quite a bit of money. And Javier is going to explain to you how exactly you can be part of that group receiving that money. So Javier, floor is yours, buddy.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay, Rick?
Yeah, we got you, bud.
Perfect. Thank you. Good morning to everybody. This is Javier Rodriguez with National Life Group. This is my 25th year with Baker to Vegas. This is about our 12th, 15th year raising funds for teams across Southern California. And the way we do it is very simple. We go ahead and set up a barbecue date at your place of work, like your station. And then we bring everything that's needed for the barbecue itself, all the food, the plates, literally everything that's needed so you don't have to invest any money. And then all the money that's raised, we donate 100% to your actual team. We'll even bring a tablet, which we raffle. Tickets are sold for the raffle itself. And then again, all the funds from the raffle itself are donated to your team in its entirety as well. We've gotten hit up by a lot of different teams that we sponsored throughout the years, and we are booking our calendars very quickly. So if anybody here wants to go ahead and get more information or simply schedule to see what the calendar is available to raise funds for your particular team, it's literally nothing out of pocket on your part, and you get to keep 100% of all the proceeds. I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat a link, which is going to be bakertovegasfunds.com. It's all spelled out, BAKERTOVEGASFUNDS. BakerToVegasFunds.com. It's a simple Google form. You just input your information, and I'll reach out to you with our availability and all the details that you might need to make one of these barbecues happen for your team as well. And I just want to thank Laprac. I want to thank Rick. I want to thank Ruben, everybody who's allowed us to be a part of this great movement for so many years. And we've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for Bigger than Biggest teams. And I know we can do the same for you. We average anywhere between $500 to $5,000 raised for your team in about a 2-hour time frame. And I know we want to go ahead and do the same for your team for 2024. So thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate the time. And thank you to everybody for all that you do.
Thank you, Javier. Appreciate.
And just, on a side note, what's really unique about this is that last year, a bunch of, a lot of people love to copy us. And last year, I'm not going to get into company names, but company names that you already know, life insurance company names, came out and decided to sign up as sponsors. Not one of them, not once, and I didn't do anything, but not one of them was able to monetize anything. So they all dropped out this year. So we're back to being the only insurance company in the entire race. They couldn't hack it. And that's because, we have a lot of pull with relationships and many other things and track records to help us do just that. What I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you now right here. This is what the response has been so far. 8 people have submitted. Well, you heard the website. Who remembers the website? I'm just curious. Anybody?
Baker to Vegas Funds.
Baker to Vegas Funds. Go ahead.
Yeah, there. No, you're good. You're good. And so the point that I'm making is that this one just came in. One of them just came in this morning. But if you look at it, you don't need to know where they're from because some of them have the extension on the email. But if you look in here, there's a field. There's only 3 things that it asks them. It asks them for their name, their email address, their name, email address, their cell phone number, and the department, the running team. And in this example, we're talking about the Los Angeles County Probation Department, ABC. We worked with them before, the alcohol beverage control. They're the ones that enforce bars and all that. Ventura County Sheriff's, hell no, I'm not going to Ventura County. Gardena, I'll take it. Correctional Health Services, I'll skip it. That's the basically the doctors inside the jails, if you would. LASD, this is Court Services, Transportation, CST. They are the buses. They are the ones that transport basically all. As a matter of fact, if we go back over here, I think, let me see, if we go back over here, I don't know where the hell this is. Here it is. And so if we go back over here, I thought one of them, let's see. Oh, this is CST right here. It says TSC, it's supposed to be CST. This is the buses, the big sheriff buses. We did that years ago, raised $750 in about an hour. They were happy as can be. And again, we can do this. So that's CST, not TST, but that's CST. And that's who wants to come play again, which we have no problem with them because they took us into the Men's Central Jail. And there's we don't present to the arrestees, if you would, the prisoners, we were presenting to the sheriffs, but it went really well. Also, I'm not going to Sacramento. Somebody else can have that. And then Orange PD. I'll go to Orange and do the roll calls. But the point that I'm making is we want to get as many people as possible certified. And that's going to be part of what I'm going to share. Any questions about this before I go on? So I don't have to come back. Anything. You can unmute yourself at any time.
I'll go to Ventura.
All right. What's that?
I'll go to Ventura.
Oh, there you go. We'll get you up to stuff and you can take it. All right?
I've been going to Oxnard and everything else
there you go.
For real estate.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, well, nice to know we have people that do that. I gave you the guys the thing, which is the flip chart. I just want to congratulate everybody that's doing their part to do this and make it in November to remember. There's a race between Monica Gonzalez is at 6.15 and Ron Ross at 6.0. So I wonder who's going to take that one. Also, Reggie Foster at 4, Michael Ward at 3. I know he's working on some things on the more advanced department that I think he's going to do really, really well with, as well as with the police. Rochelle Townsend at 2.75, George Munoz. Talk about Joel Garcia in San Diego. I want to thank Kathy and everybody that's helping me with those appointments in San Diego. It turned into a really mess because we don't have anybody in San Diego that's certified and ready to take them. So I appreciate it. We had to call an audible and start doing them via Zoom, which I hate. Most people, it's very hard to get a hold of people via Zoom, but we're not going to let the person that opened up San Diego down. We're going to go and knock these out one way or the other. Also, Kathy DeRuger has a 1.8, but I know she was just telling me that she has a bunch of them that she's about to shove in there. And I will tell you, if you keep an eye on anybody, keep an eye on Kathy. She will come out of left field and just simply take the lead in a heartbeat. And Scott Ogata, I want to congratulate Scott. I think Scott retires this year. He's an LAPD officer. He's actually my classmate. We were in the police academy together back on March 20th of 1995 when I joined the LAPD. He was my classmate, and he's still there. Just has a million years on the job, and I think this is the year that he's going to finally go ahead and retire. But it's nice to be making great money on the side. Mr. Anthony LeBlanc, congratulations on your presentations this past week. Jefflin, Carla, Victor, Macliff, Red Stafford, and Junum, as well as Walter, Stephen, Chin. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of people on the board, and that's what this is about. My theory, my philosophy has always been, even though we have less people, we can go ahead and have less people making more money. Ultimately, it's about cash flow. Also, for those of you, I want to take a moment to congratulate, I should say, those that went to the Montebello School District opening. Now, this is very important for the simple fact that in Montebello, I met with the union, and the union is welcoming us with open arms. I'm donating 5 bicycles to them so that they can in turn give them to kids at 5 different elementary schools. And so we have the full blessing of the union. And I want to thank Mr. George Munoz for having me visit the union. He said, look, before you go in there and do what you're going to do with these agents, I think you'd be better off if you got the blessing of the union. I'm not a big fan of doing that, but I know that with George comes wisdom. So I said, you know what? I don't like it. I think the answer is no, but I'll do what George says because I will yield to his level of experience in the schools. And it went off like you wouldn't believe. As a matter of fact, I played the message for him on Friday. If somebody says, hey, they didn't want me to go back to the union, so I'm going to go back to the union this week. But the point that I'm making is that here's the whole thing. It's wide open. This gentleman you see on the front towards your right, he's not certified, but he was there because he's going to work Montebello. He has somebody that works the Long Beach, because next year, I forgot to mention that we're working Long Beach Unified School District starting next year as well. And this is a very small group of people, 4 people to be exact. And what was really unique about this is I told them, if you're going to come to this to learn, and then immediately go out there and start opening up schools for next year. And they went and did that. And within 2 hours, including myself, I visited 3-4 schools. They just called me back from 2. So I have to go back to 2 of them because the principals were not on campus. And we went ahead and opened up a bunch of schools in Montebello in literally just 2 hours. And that's with one of them having a doctor's appointment, had to leave early, whatever. But still, a lot of good work there. So I just want to take a moment to congratulate everybody. Now, I don't know if any of them are here, Rhett or Joy or Walt or Chin, but if you could share with other people, how did it go when you went in there? They did have the new double-sided laminated, if you would, opening handouts, which included the flyer on the front. And then the back, we put a lot of different things, like the pictures. We also had the Montebello approved vendor list. I want to hear I haven't spoken to them. Anybody that was there that opened up schools, can you give us your feedback, please? Because,
Hey, Javier.
right,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I went out and it started raining right after we left.
Oh, yeah, I know. Thank God they were laminated.
Yeah, and Chin, he had a doctor's appointment, so we were able to get to one of his and one of mine. The first one we went to it was funny because the first thing she did, she's like, "Well, I gotta verify it with the MTA." So, well, the good news is the director of our company has already met with the president of the MTA, Mr. David Navarre. So he's expecting your call, I would imagine. So she said, "Well, I'll call you back when we get back from Thanksgiving holiday, and we'll set something up if that's the case." Second one I went to. He brought me right in. First he said, "Wait a minute, don't go away. I'm right in the middle of something." He brings me in. I start to explain what's going on. He says, "You don't need to worry about it." I said, "I'm sorry?" I said, "I've already got a National Life IUL. I've got a National Life annuity. I know what you guys do. When are you coming?"
Wow.
So it was that easy.
And you know what? And to think that some people out there are hurting for business. How do I submit business? How do I find a prospect? How do I find a potential client? And here we have what you just described. And I wasn't even there, so congratulations on that. That again, it's sometimes I like I said, I had to walk a tightrope, and I was meeting with the president of the union because I don't know him, of course, and I'm trying to feel him out the entire time. And it was amazing how much easier life is going to be in Montebello. So what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 things. We're giving all of the people that were there were only 4 of them, the first week after Thanksgiving to go back and work all the schools that they want. But after that, I'm going to rent out the office there in Montebello again, and we're going to do it all over again. But as a courtesy to those that were there, we're going to give all of them, not this week, of course, but next week when everybody's back, a shot to go back and wrap up as much as you can, because just like George said, they're very friendly with us, especially with the MTA having our back. We're going to clean house. And it's going to be a very good 2024 for those that are working it. And Walt, I think you had something to say.
I was just going to say that Joy and I did. We went to 4 schools. We opened up 1 school, and 2 are going to give us dates. We just have to email them. So it was fun. Congratulations.
And I was with you guys because I was opening. I visited, like I said, all those schools that I visited. I took the high schools. I met with the police. And, again, I never worked on a bill, so I'm asking the guy, "Hey, are you guys running Baker to Vegas this year?" He's, "Well, it's going to be pretty hard because we only have 5 officers on the whole department." I'm like, "Damn, okay." And so, but he led me to other people and made life easier for me as well, which is one thing I didn't mention to you guys, which is going to be part of our training. Whenever you work at high school, always look for the police car or ask for the police officer, and they will make your life easier when you mention things like Baker to Vegas. Anybody else that worked this event that was there, do you want to share your thoughts? That's what this is all about. Share your thoughts, how good, bad, ugly it was. Anybody. I don't know if Chin or if Joy was on. Okay, if not, we'll continue. But I just want to say thank you to everybody that did that. Also want to say thank you to everybody that donated for the Thanksgiving dinner fundraiser. I do want to mention something. I don't have it here in front of me, but I'm going to pause. I'm going to find this. This is a really quick video, but I want to pause at one slide. Well, again, maybe I can't slide forward. Let me see if this works. If hopefully you can hear this. Hold on. It's really short, so don't blink. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, we ended up with some extra turkey, so we started going around. There's a food bank around there, and the line was incredible for this food bank. And so what Marcella and I did, we just simply went up and looked for some people, especially the seniors, like this lady, and we just went ahead and blessed them with the dinner. And it was like the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, you can have the whole thing, and they were almost crying, just from giving them their turkey. And so again, I just want to thank everybody who did their part here. What I want to do is pause here for just 1 second because I want to make sure we give credit, and at the same time, we appreciate everybody who donated. But maybe we can get some thoughts. And before I do that, let me just share one thing with you. And this is what will help you, even if you're not this guy. I promise you, it will help you, because let me go back over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm going to hit search, and I'm going to put LA School Police. I'm going to hit the LA School Police Department. And this is their official. Look at right at the top of it. If you guys are not, first of all, search for it. If you are on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, that means you're old like me. But if you're on Facebook, find this, like it, forward it. It's so on. This is Stephen being highlighted on their feed. Now, I can tell you that every principal is on this feed, guarantee you, every single principal in LAUSD. And so this helps tremendously as it relates to, again, validating not just the police side, but also the giving side, the professional side. And so congratulations to Stephen on a job well done. And Stephen, I don't know if you're here. If you are here, Stephen, oh, you are. Any thoughts you can share with us about the event, Stephen?
Yeah, having the officers there was a great enhancement, especially to interact with the community on a different level than what they're used to or what they're projected as. And then not only that, they interacted with all the families. One of the ladies that came, she walked to school. She was very tiny, and the officers took her stuff, took her address, and said, "Listen, don't worry about it. We're going to come by afterwards, drop off your stuff for you." She was shocked and surprised they would do that for her. But the officers were great and great to have around, and they get it. One of them has policies and understands the need for it, and was talking to the other young officer about it as well right then and there. So we got talking to him about getting an appointment set up. But it was a positive experience for everybody. The principal was thrilled to have the officers there in the interaction. The officers were thrilled to be a part of it and be invited. It was positive all the way around. So thank you.
Perfect. Okay. And like I said, I think it's so important to not just simply from the giving part, which is I start and I end with giving. We got to help the people around us, but it's also nice to know that when you give, you sometimes receive. And the same thing. Now, every person that did a drop off at a school that requested, that's the key word, that requested police to be there with you, every single one we delivered. If you didn't request the police to be with you, well, then that's on you. And number two, a lot of you that didn't request police, you have the name and number, cell phone numbers of some of the police that you should have called yourself as well. But what's really nice is that when I started calling around to the lieutenants in the Valley and in LA, as soon as my phone rang, they answered, "Hey, Javier, what's going on?" And because they have me saved on their cell phone, they know who I am. So all the cops, the decision makers, they know who I am. They know what we're about. And they were like, "Hey, are you doing your Thanksgiving?" Yep. How many officers do you need? Where do you need them? I need one here this morning. I also need one at 11:30 here. And the Valley is taking care of with the other lieutenant from the Valley. Well, if you need more, we have more officers. They have all day to come to these things. We need more of this type of activity. So it's nice to know you have that kind of pull as well. Anybody else that participated in the Thanksgiving donations drop off or anything? Anybody? Before we wrap it up, anybody? All right.
Javier.
Oh, go ahead.
It's Kathy. Yeah, as always, I mean, we've been doing this for a while now. But it never changes how much you feel as a human being doing nice things for others. I think it's a very powerful thing, and the universe blesses you in return.
Perfect. Thank you. And I appreciate you and everybody else that did their part. We started with and even though it was a rough morning for me, man, on our way there, I had a blowout. Talk about trying to get to save the show by calling an Uber, and the Uber shows up, and I've got 50 bags of turkeys just in my car alone. I needed to shove in there. The guy almost died until they found out that it was for a donation. Then they started, helping us. Where I left my car at a gas station, they tow your car so quickly. I told him, "Hey, man," I opened up my doors. He saw the turkeys. He said, "Oh my God, what's that?" I go, "Just for a donation." They all went to work, and we just couldn't fix it. So it's like, time to call an Uber. Can I leave my car here? Just leave it. Don't worry. I came back. They're waiting. How did the turkey drop off go? It's amazing how when people know what you're about, they see you differently and they treat you differently as well. Anybody else before we go? All right. All right, hold on. I do want to ask you to save the dates, but you can't save them because they're not confirmed yet. We have 3 things or 3 dates, and the 3 dates that we have, the 3 events are as follows. One event is on an opening blitz for the San Fernando Valley. We're going to get together in the Valley. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and meet in the Valley, and then from there we're going to hit the Valley. And now you're going to get all the laminated tools, the flyer in the front, the pictures of giveaways in the back, the life changer that's also laminated. You're going to get the approved vendor list that's also laminated. Thank God we did that, because when we went to open up schools in Montebello, it started to pour. And so we're going to do that. So that's one date is for the Valley. We're going to have another date in LA, the Basin, basically central LA. And then we're going to also have the police certification for Baker to Vegas that we're going to do as well. And then, of course, the 4th date you need to know is December 2nd. It's the school symposium for a batch of new people that we have coming in. I've only spoken to 2 so far that I think are promising enough to invite to that. I've spoken to a lot of people. I actually hit up, some of you probably got it, because I'm communicating with 5,800 life insurance agents, almost 6,000 in the LA Unified School District in the LA area or greater LA area. And I only have 2. So hopefully we can make it to my goal of 6. And we'll get there. We'll get there one way or the other. And I also want to thank everybody that's doing their part, like Kathy in the Inland Empire, whether it be Fontana, whether it be working out here in the Riverside, whether it be San Bernardino, where I was with Manny presenting last week. Again, there's a lot of work to be done, but we do need people, because we want to make sure that we spread the workload, if you would, and the income that comes with that as well. Any questions from anybody about anything before we wrap it up?
Javier, I wanted to ask you, because it was hard for me to see your list for the police. Did anybody from the Inland Empire show interest in a fundraiser?
The answer is no, but just so you know, that was just for me talking to them for what you saw, 30 seconds. Today is the first day that I sent an email to officers I've interacted with in the past, and that batch somewhere in there includes Inland Empire Police Departments as well, Riverside, things like that. San Bernardino, which is another one that we're working, and so today is our very first email that we go to them. That's just one list that I started for that one. We already have around 11 other departments before that. So today is the first day that we are going to reach out to them, because they were asking us, where the hell are you guys? I just haven't answered anybody. I haven't replied to any cops. I haven't replied to anybody so far this year. Today is the first day, so it'll be going really, really well. All right. Okay, if somebody didn't get it, just Rochelle, just have them save the date for right now, please. And I know you updated the email, but I'll go ahead and send you the link to you so you can get it to them, if that makes it easier to make sure that they receive it. So, all right, cool. Anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, anything at all? This is your shot. Just so you know, tomorrow morning I'm going to be flying out of town. My mom, I got to take her to Mexico City, so I'm going to be flying her and my brother. And so my hands are full and taking, because they both use a wheelchair. They both, she's even been bringing her dog this time. So I got to deal with the damn little yappy little chihuahua, whatever the hell it is. And so I'm going to be busy dropping her off tomorrow, because it has to be tomorrow. She can't go at all. So it'll be tomorrow. I'll be in Mexico City Wednesday. And then Thursday on Thanksgiving Day, I fly back home. I land at 5, hopefully to be home in time by 6 for Thanksgiving dinner with the rest of my family here at home as well. So this is a great week to catch up on scheduling, family, yourself. Always put yourself first. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, please, because we need you for 2024. It's going to be a massive year. 2023 is going to be a good year. Next year is going to be what we refer to as a massive year, which we haven't had in a long time, because of the caliber of people from the last batch of people we brought on board, combined with the seasoned professionals that we have from throughout the years. And again, as you know, this is my 20th year with this company. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm just dying to see what 2024 has in store for all of us. And my recommendation to you, put your running shoes on, because we're going to go on a nice little, very profitable run for you and your families as well. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I thank you for all that you do. Please be careful. Above all, have a very happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for what you do. And I'm very grateful. And one of the things that Marcella and I are so thankful this year It's for having you in our lives, making you part of our family, making you part of, who we are, what we represent, what we stand for. And I think that, again, we couldn't ask for better people to be close to us and close to our hearts. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.